here at the Fort Wayne Farm Show, and an opportunity to talk with Kelly Sheiss. And you are now the head of the Indiana Beef Cattle Association. Somebody, again, from our neighborhood representing us on the state level.
Certainly a privilege and an opportunity to represent not only our membership, but all of Indiana's cattle producers. But I'm right there with you, Rob, in that I'm a little partial to this part of Indiana, hailing from it. So very, very proud. We have a strong industry in this part of the state.
I think for some people that may be a little bit of a surprise. Everybody thinks about Indiana. They go, well, there's cornfields on every corner. Must be all about corn and soybeans. And yet, when the rest of the nation has really been suffering with drought and their pastures are just deplorable, our beef industry here in the States has really been pretty healthy.
We do. Beef producers are resilient. They have grit. They're very independent, but we have such a diverse industry. So we have your cow-calf operators, purebred breeders, you feeders, stockers, and Indiana ranks number one in veal production, and most of that veal is situated right up here in this part of the state. We're extremely proud of that.
And once again, one of those things that people they're surprised at. We were talking a lot here at this year's Fort Wayne Farm Show about some of the things that are concerning for our ag industries here in the state. And obviously, we're in the middle of a session at the state legislature as well. But give us an idea about maybe the top three issues that we're really focusing on for the beef industry.
Well, the great thing is we've had historically great prices. And I think that parlays into the fact that we still have great consumer demand for our product, but that's not without our challenges. So we always need to look and be aware of traceability factors and animal diseases that may become a factor that we need to be prepared for. I think one of our biggest challenges are those that maybe don't necessarily like our livelihood or the product that we produce. So animal rights and policies that come at both the state and national level, and right down to some of the alternative products. We've seen a decline in the demand for plant-based meats, but we know cell-cultured beef is right there on the horizon, and we need to be ready to address that.
I think one of the other issues that at least has been on my radar screen, and I want to know how the beef industry is really looking at this, and that is Prop 12 in California. I think that for a lot of the other, certainly livestock industries, they're looking at it, they're saying, is this going to be one of those precedent-setting kinds of things? So how's the beef cattle industry looking at it?
Sure. Well, I will tell you, Rob, we are pork producers too, so we've seen the effect of Prop 12 even here in Indiana. And one thing we note by talking to our fellow cattle producers in the western states is that's the testing ground. So when things happen out there, they somehow make their way here, but in a different format. So I think part of it is looking at what one state can do that can dictate what other states can do. Part of that is being in good connection with our legislators and making sure that we develop that relationship, that they understand our industry. And the beauty of the cattle industry is we have a lot of independent producers that are diversified in a variety of areas, that we have the opportunity to meet some of the challenges that come before us. But I think Prop 12 teaches us a lesson that someone across the country can change the way we produce our product here.
Well, and we haven't heard the last of this yet. When you start talking about livestock producers in Canada who are just fit to be tied, by the fact that they've got to deal with the United States, and yet one of the states, in the midst of all of those states, is trying to dictate how this all goes down. So I couldn't underscore enough your point there about education. I think that's really critical going forward. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. And I think we've done that with our beef producers, whether it be through traceability, through RFID tags, making sure we can trace that animal the whole way from the time it hits the ground to the plant. Also, our producers becoming BQA certified, so they have practices in place to ensure a quality product. And we know time and time again that our consumers, both not only here domestically, but across the world, love American-produced beef. It's a quality product. We have great producers, and we need to take pride in that and make sure we keep those communications going to represent our membership at the legislative level, make sure those policies are in place to support our livelihood.
Kelly Sheiss, the president of the Indiana Beef Cattle Association. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it.
Podcasts by Federated Media.